Hello everybody, Randy the REI Rockstar here. Today's training video, I'm going to let you into my business and have you take a look at how I have my basically CRM set up. And if you don't already know about me, check out the reirockstar.com. There you can sign up for our newsletter and get a bunch of free stuff, some contracts for yourself, some other freebies, my Craigslist hacks, I have a couple of those on there. And don't be shy, visit us on my Facebook, join my YouTube channel, or follow us on Twitter. Or better yet, send a question. I've gotten some really great questions rather out there from, I mean, all over the place. And I just love it. I love seeing people succeed. I love seeing people get their first check. So don't be shy. Send a note. If you have a chance to sign up for the newsletter, it's right here on the right-hand side, and you'll get these videos as they come out. So signing up to this newsletter here, I'll even give you a free 30 minutes of coaching and personally call you when I have the opportunity and figure out why you haven't flipped a house yet. So let's get into the important part of the training here. So this is my Maricopa County. I'm out here in Arizona workspace. So for those of you not familiar with Podio, it's a CRM, if you will, customer management system, CMS, CRM, and it's been awesome. It's just been absolutely great. I used to have an office on the north side of town, right next to Sean, another business partner. And one day he came and he's like, "Hey, check this out. What do you think about this?" I was like, "This is great. This is 100% customizable." He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set up a bunch of these apps." And I thought, cool, cool. Let me know. And a couple months after that, I got back into setting it up and just customized everything. So this is the way I have mine set up. So check this out. Um, activity is everything that happens in these apps up here, guys, comes into my activity. So if I ever log in and look at my team, I can see what's been happening. I mean, this is great. And I can also like kind of call and appreciate some kudos to somebody. Like if I wanted to say hi to my admin, I would just click her name, like, great job today. And you can attach links, pictures, whatever, even do a questionnaire and share it. Goes right into the activity. So that's what that is. Over here, I've added a picture because remember, this is just one workspace. This is workspace C. I'm investing in other cities right now with some other partners. And so I want my team, when we come into workspace, we're visual creatures. We're able to see this picture in the upper right-hand side. We can easily identify what work we're doing. I got my gross potential profit, right? This is how much we would make if we close everything in the books right now. That'd be a great number to hit this month, right? And then let's see here. Whiteboard. These are ones that we're closing or in the process of flipping right now. So they're on the whiteboard under contract. So if I click this, it'll take us to that particular app, and I can see, what properties we're flipping right now we have for sale. And then it's just a bunch of shortcuts. So I created a manager shortcut, marketing shortcut, the administrator, customer service shortcut, analysis shortcut, acquisition shortcut. I'm speaking about all these on the right. Our funding shortcut, that's relatively new, guys. I think you'll like that if I can get to that explanation in a second. And the dispositions and escrow shortcut, which is all the way down at the bottom. So if you notice something there, guys, when I kind of pictured um, my business later down the road, when I was just a one-man machine, I thought, how could I systemize this? And I'm going to share something that I think is very profound, because I don't see a lot of business model stuff out there. I do see free blueprints and things like that, um, but nothing out there that kind of says, here's roles, here's departments. I mean, it's just not out there. If you're aware of one, shoot me an email, send me a contact. I haven't seen anybody kind of train that or offer that, but that's what I want to show you is when I thought about my biz, I'm like, gosh, I'm everything. I'm marketing, I'm acquisitions, I'm customer service, I'm fulfillment, I'm resale, I am closing these. It's just a lot of stuff, and I have no problem whatsoever. If you know me, I love to systemize and outsource, but I still want to work on my business. I don't really believe necessarily in some kind of passive business model. Um, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, you have to put in the time. It's just kind of sort of depends on what your role is in your business. And I didn't want my role any longer to be all of those departments, if you will. So I created those departments. And I'm going to show you those in a second, but let me go over these other ones quickly. So I'll show you these departments in here. But I felt a need that if I was going to scale up, I would need a links area. And the links area is pretty awesome. If you click on it, it basically just has links that we use, websites that we use often. And what's cool about it is you can actually tag them for each department. So if the analysis person who does all the analysis on all your deals logs in and they use a particular link often, they could easily click this button over here to add company links, add the links, and whenever they want to access them, what I love about Podio is it gives these really cool shortcut and cuts rather in team views over here. Analysis, you can see here, has 4 links for that department. Manager has 14 links. Boom, it narrows it down for just themselves. Give me one moment here. I like everything in table view. So let's say, how does this apply in action? Well, let's imagine that, you hire on a new acquisitions person and they're like, hey, I need a contract. I need a copy of a contract. Rather than email them Dropbox, Google Drive, or whatever, put the link in your company links and just say, hey, not a problem. By the way, Podio has a chat in the upper right over here. You can't see it, it's out of the screen. You can chat with them from your phone and say, oh, it's in the company links folder. Marketing comes to you one day, hey, what postcard do we use for vacant sellers? Yep, just go to company links. It's right there in your company links. Check it out. There's a link to Dropbox. That's our postcard. There's also a link to Elance if you're going to hire a virtual assistant this week. Pretty awesome. That's company links, guys. I hope you like that. Let's get into meetings. That's self-explanatory. We have a weekly meeting. It's usually Sundays or Mondays. Usually Mondays, actually, because people like to work on Sunday, and I get that. You can set up meetings. You can even schedule them with reminders, and you can have them automatically schedule out for a year, 2 years, indefinitely. Pretty self-explanatory there. Goals. Set goals for everybody in each department. This is really great to hold folks accountable. If you have an acquisitions person, maybe you want a certain amount of calls done a day, or a certain amount of contracts that he or she needs to bring in. For admin or customer service, same thing, certain amount of calls, certain amount of emails maybe, a certain amount of contracts if they're doing a little sales and service too. And then you got your timesheet. So this is something a little new. When I started scaling up, and I had a conversation with my attorney. I have a corporate attorney, and I got some advice from them, and I also have basically a labor attorney that I met with to just make sure I was doing things legitimately in terms of how do I pay these folks and all that. And in the state of Arizona, you have 1099 employees, you have your W-2 employees, and we're also touching real estate deals, so I have to make sure I'm doing everything legitimate in terms of them getting paid some sort of dollar amount. So I have everything set up perfectly with them. I can't dictate right now because they're not W-2 employees their time. I can't say, hey, you need to be here 8 to 5. That's probably against some statute. When you do that, you have to offer health insurance if you're a certain company size and all that, yada, yada, yada. By the way, I'm not giving you legal advice. This is just information purposes only. So I am not an attorney. But I thought to myself, well, you know what? I'll let everybody write their own hours. That's up to them. They know contractually what their job function is. I have them under a contract to do their job functions, and it's a time frame as well. And I say you will work as many hours as it takes to perform this function. So it's up to them to go in, fill their timesheet out every Sunday, and just write out what hours they're going to be working that week, which is awesome. I can see at the beginning of the week when everybody's going to be working, when I can schedule meetings with them or whatever. And I think another good thing too is in the beginning, as you're building your company out, this is for those of you who have cash checks already. It's cool to see, if you compare how many hours they worked with a check. And, my, I don't call them employees, my partners can earn 50, 60 bucks an hour basically, but they average about, 20, 23, 24 bucks an hour. If I look at how many hours they work versus how much they get in a check, that for an American company, I think that's pretty fair. And that's not including, we have bonuses and things like that. So, um, let's get into the property pipeline, guys. So here is property pipeline. This is the bread and butter here. So I built this app. A lot of guys or guys and girls out there invest. They build apps separately, and I didn't like that. I thought, gosh, there's a lot of linking that has to be done there. When I mean by apps, I mean these up here at the top. And when they're building those, it's like, Well, if you have all these apps and the seller comes in, your acquisitions and other people who use those particular apps, whether they're using one, two, three, or some of them are using three, four, or five, that's a lot of bouncing around. Think about that. You'd have to fill out information in one app, save the information, get out of there, go into another app, link back to whatever lead that was just to create a contract. Then you got to go back in and do, no, don't do any of that. Just create a property pipeline. What I wanted to say earlier was I kind of now I do a lot of reading, and I remember reading a little bit about Henry Ford and a couple other the Vanderbilts and the people who were really early companies here in the States. And I thought, God, how awesome was that for Ford to create the assembly line? I mean, there's warehouses, there's factory workers, but this guy really, I mean, he really got that down. So I picture an assembly line, and this is basically how the model works. If you'd like to copy it, awesome. If you're at this point in your business, great. But I pictured an assembly line left to right in my mind, and I thought, okay, if I reverse engineer a transaction, it ends at title, right? Title company where checks are cut, everyone settlement happens. Before that, there was, the buyer who, we sold the deal to and brought in the funds, double closed and whatever. Before that was somebody to potentially, fund the deal. So the bank or transactional funding, or maybe I borrowed some private money or used my own money. Before that was the dispositions, the person who, responsible to bring in the buyer and all that good stuff. And then before that was acquisitions, the one who got the contract. Prior to that, someone had to analyze the deal. Someone had to call the seller and get all the details. And before that, somebody had to do the marketing. So left to right now, you have manager, marketing, administration, analysis, acquisitions, dispositions, escrow coordinator at the closing table. So I thought, okay, if I'm going to build a property pipeline, I need to build it that way. And if you look here, this is a property pipeline. I'm just going to pick some old lead here, and actually, let me see if one of these is filled out here. Eventually, guys, I'll have this kind of packaged as some sort of service I can offer out there. I think a lot of folks like me just want to have something done for them, and they appreciate that. But check this out. So we have the departments right here. So manager into marketing. Remember, guys, the pipeline: administration, analysis, acquisitions, financing, dispositions, closing coordinator, referred to realtor, closed it, dead. Those are the departments. Very critical. Remember I was telling you about custom fields? I feel like custom fields is the most important part. In one of my other videos, I referenced that. It's very important to structure your company and have everybody compartmentalized, right? Have everyone do their job very good in a very niche and very narrow way. That's how the profit, these companies who profit a lot, they're built. So it was very important for me to create the departments. I've even lettered them so that they'll all sort of stack together there. And then within those departments, there's a sort of a status. Now I was thinking in terms of management. At any time, I should be able to see what department it's in and what is the status. So I have all these little statuses built here, custom. Marketing sees a new property, they research the lead source. If somebody sends them back the work, they have to rework it, and they put it on a follow-up campaign if there was no success out on the assembly line, right? If it makes, and then here's where the deal gets dead. If it doesn't meet our criteria within marketing alone, it goes dead. If it makes it past marketing, it goes into administration, and it's got similar things, but tasks that this person does. And it may die at this point. This deal may fall apart. I love killing a deal, by the way, a little off subject, but that's how I have my business structured. I can't do a whole training in this 15-minute video, but I'll see if I can't do a second one, guys, and really break this down. This particular app will take the longest to explain, so join me on video number 2 here, and I think you'll really love it, and I'll break this down for you. All right, see you on the next video. Have yourself a great day. Take care.